What's up, everybody? Welcome to a kind of funny Gamescast E3 2016 special. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, and as I live and breathe, Geoff Conte from Dead Rising 4.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm gonna move the mic like this because you gotta be. Don't be afraid of it. You gotta talk into it.
Right into
like
it.
If you're gonna move, if you want to adjust the camera, you gotta do this. You want to adjust me, you do this. You know what I mean? You're right, perfect right now.
Perfect.
Jeff.
Yes.
I lost my fucking mind when Dead Rising 4 came out. I'm such a Dead Rising fan, and so to have it come back and then not only come back but come back with Frank West. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I got to watch over a kid's shoulder as he played it because Microsoft gives Greg Miller no special treatment. Bring me up to speed. What are you saying about the game so far?
Okay, so this is 16 years after the first Dead Rising, the first Frank West appearance.
Sure.
He is being drawn back into Willamette, reluctantly being brought back to investigate something that's been going on in Willamette again. So he goes back to investigate and find out what's happened there. Another zombie outbreak has happened.
So I was going to say, did Willamette eventually got put under? It was under control at some point.
It was. It was rebuilding.
Yeah.
And so the town's rebuilt.
Because it didn't end well for Willamette at the end of Dead Rising 1. No,
Not so good. Not a good place.
Yeah.
And so they've rebuilt, and they've actually built a giant shopping mall to try and bring people in.
As you do, of course.
As you do.
Minnesota's been trying to get people in for years with that idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they tried to replicate that. And during the Black Friday weekend, zombie outbreak.
Gotcha. Again. So weird. Yeah.
So right when the mall has been full of shoppers and there's all kinds of like holiday themed things going on, outbreak happens. And then about 6 weeks after that, Frank makes his appearance in Willamette.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so what I'm always not lost with, but Dead Rising games for me, I play them and I love them so goddamn much. And I play them nonstop.
Yeah.
What I'm lost with in the world right now, in Dead Rising 4, what is the general populace's knowledge of zombies? Where are we at right now? Is everybody aware? Because it's always like, Frank's covered wars. That's happened. And he covered this, but then they discredited him and da-da-da-da. So where are we right now?
In the world of Dead Rising.
Yeah, do people know about zombies and that's a real thing?
People know about zombies, and we've got things like safe houses in the world that the civic officials will say have built.
So they're prepped for another zombie outbreak at any time.
Prepped, just in case.
Sure, of course.
Just in case.
It happens.
It's not supposed to, but just in case it does, they're ready for it, supposedly. So there are safe houses in the world. And you see a few things around the world that sort of indicate that they were sort of prepping in case something happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then, it's so many years later. Where do we find Frank West when we start the game?
We find Frank West somewhere else, hiding out. He's taken his. He was discredited after the first one. Went off, found himself a new profession. Was living in obscurity, we'll say, and that's when he's tracked down. That's when the story starts. Okay. Yeah. And
so, for you guys, how many, I guess, callbacks are there to Dead Rising 2, 3? Like bringing in, is it a lore or is it more Frank's story from 1 to 2? And then there's off the record, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was, as someone said today, off the record, not canon.
Okay. But, that's not canon. Okay. Yeah. Good. Just making sure. Glad we're getting it out of the way.
But it is progressive, so it is progressive to the story of Frank West.
Yeah.
But it's not something that people need to know. They don't need to have played the first games, know the story from the first two games to jump into this one and just start killing zombies and understand who everyone is. So,
okay, that's good to know. Yeah. So then for you guys, I mean, you're making the fourth game here in Dead Rising.
Yes.
What did you want to bring to the table this time?
Well, for us, one of the things that we always try and do is see how many zombies we can get on screen. Yeah. Always very important for us. So we're pretty proud of our efforts so far.
What's the number this time?
I'm an art director. I don't know numbers.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
A lot? You can say a lot.
Lots. It looks
PR
pretty.
is saying a lot. Yeah, PR back there saying
it looks pretty. Thousands, let's say.
You have thousands of zombies on screen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like...
teraflops.
No. Don't. No, let's not. No, let's not do that again.
Thousands of zombies. So more than we had in Dead Rising 3. So that was a good push.
Yeah.
We also wanted to expand on the combo idea. So we've got combo weapons, as always, combo vehicles as always, and now we're giving people the opportunity to combo Frank with exosuits. So that's something that we were revealing at E3.
I saw at the end of the trailer, he put on like a crazy exosuit, started wrecking shop.
So the idea behind that is that when Frank gets an exosuit, which is part of the stuff that's left behind by the military presence in the town, he throws that on. He can now interact with things in the world that he couldn't normally interact with. So in the demo, we have people ripping parking meters out of the ground, killing zombies with that, punching cars, knocking them down the street, wiping out hordes of zombies that way.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah.
And we've also put a whole bunch of other stuff in the world that Frank can only use when he's got the exosuit on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So then I guess for you guys, why come back to Frank West? You know what I mean? There had been Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 3 when it launched with the Xbox One pretty much. Brand new character, brand new area. It seemed like we were getting even further away from Frank, but now we're back to him.
We're back to him, I think mainly because on the dev team, we love Frank West. Like he was such a great character. So we started looking at him and talking about what he'd be like this many years later. And just to see what we could do to expand on him. So we went through a number of iterations with the character model. So Frank's like 52, I think, this version of the game.
Think about that, yeah.
So then we had all these debates around like, what is a 52-year-old like?
Should he be slow as hell? And
yeah, like how? And as we're, as my boss, Joe.
What up, Joe?
Joe looks up to Frank because he's kind of his age. And sorry, I just gave away Joe's age. That's okay. And we talked a lot about like how he would act, what his experiences in the past, what they would do to him now. So it was a cool exploration, and we ended up finding like really good voice talent for him, and we found lots of really cool opportunities for like expressing who Frank is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good. I think in the first Dead Rising, Frank kind of wore his personality on the outside.
Yeah.
So he had the jacket, the glasses, the whole bit. You kind of knew who he was just looking at him.
Yeah, at a glance.
Yeah, so what we want to do this time was really emphasize the fact that Frank is a photojournalist and let the rest of his personality come out in the acting and in the script. Yeah.
So for you guys, and this isn't an insult, I hope, but like, is this a more grounded, real Dead Rising? Like, you know what I mean? Is Frank, because that was always the fun thing about Dead Rising 1 especially, right? That it was like totally over the top B movie, and then I'm like getting a katana and just cutting everybody up or running across dead guys.
That kind of stuff. So in terms of the action, that sense of humor, that tone is still in the game. What I like about Dead Rising really is that we can take a really humorous feel and apply it to something with a really intense content.
Sure.
Right. So Frank still has that kind of like silliness to him, and you'll see it in the outfits he wears. You can throw different outfits on him.
Yeah.
And the kind of stuff he does in the game. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's still the crazy Frank we knew.
He's still crazy Frank,
but he's more grounded. And he's
a little bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit
so
slower.
Does that play into it? I was gonna say, is he slower? Is he take longer to get up?
No. The way
how's his prostate? Is he getting that checked?
Because that's
something shown. Okay.
That's one of the missions. Actually. Yeah.
The very beginning. Frank, get a prostate exam, please, sir.
No, he. The way that we play it out with him is he doesn't stick to landing, is the way we like to describe Frank.
Okay.
Right. So he does all the moves, but it's not the superhero poses. Right. So he's just a little bit clumsy. He's a little bit brutish, and a little bit more realistic that way.
Yeah.
But he's still Frank. Yeah.
Is it more in the line of like you're saying? It sounds a lot like we're just returning to what Dead Rising 1 was, which is great. Mm-hmm. Does that mean no multiplayer? Are you talking about that? Where are we on that one?
We got multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that more as we get closer to launch. But
we're closer. See what
2 seconds
closer.
closer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I did there. How you guys rank? You there? Are you ready for launch? You getting there? You psyching yourself up?
Yeah,
it's
we're
getting
there.
closer.
Yeah, we got all the pieces there. We're just sort of like making sure everything's super fun. We're excited. I'm excited to get back and just finish it off.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been working on this?
A while.
Yeah.
I've been with Capcom for about a year and a half now, and it's been in development during that time.
I was gonna say, because it's one of those, I think, Dead Rising is a franchise that so many people love, and it up until recently, it didn't get leaked. Nobody knew that it was happening, and it was that thing of like, oh my gosh, that's great. Because I had been predicting for a long time, and do the thing where you clear your face so you don't give any tells if I'm right about a future one. I had been predicting you guys were up in Capcom Vancouver working on a Mega Man game, a third-person Mega Man run around, do a million things, open world Mega Man game. Because Colin's been saying he wants that forever, right, Colin? Am I right? Yeah. I'll write it. Colin wants to write it. He keeps saying, but that was my prediction. Is because you guys are great at third-person action games like that. That would be what it was. And then here you are with Dead Rising 4.
I know.
And that's a major hole in my theory of what you were working on.
We threw you off.
You did. You threw me off the scent, as they say. So for you then, as we start to wrap this interview up, what is the most important takeaway for somebody about Dead Rising 4?
The big takeaways are Frank is back.
Yeah.
Bigger and badder than ever. All new ways to combo. And just way
and when
more
you say that, we talk about the exocells and stuff,
Yeah.
but I mean, we saw crazy ass candy cane weapons and stuff like that.
still that's
Yeah.
all that's part of Dead Rising, and that'll be there in spades this time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my big question,
Yeah.
is it still like time based and everything? Like, do I have to worry about time meters running out? Because I hate that. I hate it and love it at the same time. Like, I understand why it's there, but it still drives me crazy as like a completionist. And I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
God.
Only at E3 is there a time-based thing. So in the final game, no time limits. But
I could kiss you.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
I won't.
No.
I don't want to get anybody mad. Your significant other, I don't want coming after me or whatever. No, that's great news. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Oh man, I'm excited for Dead Rising 4.
I am too.
Out this holiday.
Out this holiday.
Xbox One.
Xbox One.
That PC stuff.
PC stuff.
Yeah, because it's got
Yeah.
the, what do they call
Win
it?
10.
What are they calling the Xbox thing with the crossplay?
The crossplay.
No, that's not what they call
I
it.
think that's what they call it.
No, they had a fancy
call
name.
it?
What, Colin, what was the fancy name?
Play on PC2.
No, Play on PC 2 is not. Jeez. Do you know, PR guy? Who's
It's Xbox Play Anywhere.
Xbox Play Anywhere?
This is different.
This is
Oh, you
different.
don't have
This is
Xbox
different.
Play Anywhere.
We're on Xbox One and Win 10 this holiday season at the same time.
You're letting Phil Spencer down. He came out, he had this whole thing. They had a little graphic for it, too. And this doesn't have it. Don't worry, everybody who watches this is a console player, not a PC dork. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Geoff. You're getting pointed at by the Coalition folks. Come hug him.
I know
Come
that
hug
guy.
him. Come give him a
me.
hug.
Yes.
Give him a hug.
I go way.
No, well, now it's just crotches. Now it's just crotches on camera.
Again.
We're about to do some Gears of War stuff, too. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, that is all there is to say about Dead Rising 4. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Thank you for coming by.
you.
You're an art director.
Yeah.
Is the art cool? Should I have asked an art question, I guess?
The art's the coolest.
Yeah?
It's
Okay,
the best
good.
part of the whole game.
Is it the best Dead Rising
Yes.
art ever?
It is.
Yeah?
It is. It blows the rest of them away.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Nick, for everything about Dead Rising, video games, E3, and whatever the hell Kevin does. Keep it right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames.